O que acende a sua vontade de começar algo? Tem uma faísca em você que te chama para empreender, investir, dar novos rumos para sua vida. E para todos os seus começos, você pode contar com Santander Select. Um banco mais pessoal, mais próximo, mais humano. Um time de especialistas com olhar atento para cada momento da sua vida. Porque você sabe, só quem já deu muitos passos está pronto para continuar começando. Santander Select. Começa em você, começa agora.
Doing a special video podcast today for you guys. In light of news today, there's a lot of stuff going on. I want to normally don't do these video podcasts, but figured I'd do some video podcasts here for the show. We got a lot of different topics. I'm telling you right now, there's just so much stuff buzzing in the news today. Just literally everything. The CDC actually now attacking Trump for criticism. Oh boy, I tell you, if it's not one thing, it's the next. It's just one thing after the other, guys. It's just one thing after the other, and I mean, it's nonstop. It's nonstop. Oh boy, it's just like, when are they ever going to stop? You know, it's just, who knows? I mean, who knows, right? With that being said, welcome to today's show. I'm the host today, as Mike, as always. And what I want to say before we get into this topic here, and I'd like to tip my hat to everybody that's basically working under these crazy situations. It's just nonstop. You know, when is it going to end, right? But I want to tip my hat, like I said, to all the hardworking essentials out there, the essential workers that are basically working crazy amount of hours, overtime, everything, you know, in these crazy times. With that being said, welcome to today's show. We got a lot to talk about. Like I said, the CDC is getting onto Trump with the criticism of just basically, encouraging states to open up their states for, to get businesses back rolling again. Governor Kemp of Georgia wanting to roll his state into process, getting little by little, so to speak. But we'll get into more of that. There's another article here that's popping up here. Oh boy, there's just so many. Some of it some of it is not worth discussing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It really is. But I want to basically talk about this next stimulus package. I said it yesterday. I believe I said it the other day on the other day's show. Labeled America 2020, right? This other stimulus package, they want to roll basically $2,000 extra for more Americans, right? So, that's good and bad. That's good and bad. It's gonna boost our economy. It's people's paychecks. But I mean, what is it going to do? I mean, literally, it's just going to add more debt into the country, right? And your children and the next youth generation is going to pay for it, with taxes. So yes, it's good, but no, it's kind of bad, But I mean, when is enough enough, right? When is enough enough? But you got crazy people like I said on the other day's show, Ice Cream Pelosi, right? I'm starting to call her Ice Cream Pelosi. Ice Cream Pelosi rolling out on what was it last week, like a week ago, our $24,000 refrigerator, and rolling into gelato and just $1,000 worth of ice cream and everything else, and just making a big joke about it, right? And while you have people, trying to get to food banks and trying to, put food on the table, you got this crazy senile woman of Pelosi, just making a mockery of it, and basically it's just, it's getting sick. It really is. It's getting sick. I'm going to play a clip here on the show. It's going to be an audio clip, for those who's joining in today on the video version of the podcast. Just to let you know, the video podcast is live here on the Kitchen Angle, but it will also be in audio format later on tonight. That's going to be added on to the Facebook page, of course, the Twitter page, and of course, anywhere you hear a podcast. So you'll hear also the audio podcast and anyone that's actually listening live to the show. But with that being said, I want to play this clip here of the latest, basically the latest of the coronavirus, just saga, so to speak, in today's news. Waiting for it to pull up here. But basically, the Trump administration is now saying that Fauci's, Anthony Fauci, or Fauci, however the hell you spell his name, the doctor, the so-called medical genius, right, expert that thinks everything is good and this and that. But yeah, now Trump is saying Fauci's warnings are unacceptable, and California hits a COVID-19 milestone. Oh, you got to hear this audio clip. It's terrible. It really is. I scratch my head on this one, because this one right here is just crazy. It really is. It's
I'm Joe Biden.
So basically, we're going to wait for this clip to show up, and I do apologize. It's my audio team that's working on the other end here, that's plugging into the show. But basically, when this clip gets pulled up, you'll see what I'm talking about, because I mean, you got to hear this. This is ridiculous. This is nonsense. This is just non-saga, right? It's endless. It's getting to be bad. It really is. So here's the clip we're going to play here for you. And this is now Trump, supposedly Trump taunts U.S. successes in coronavirus fight. Where the hell is this coming from? NBC News. Oh, boy.
Coronavirus fight is far from over. The president has had a more optimistic assessment. Here now to fact check the president, NBC News political reporter Jane Tim. Jane, yesterday the president stood next to a banner that said America leads the world in testing, and he said that testing in the U.S. is outpacing the world. Let's play that.
This week, the United States will pass 10 million tests conducted, nearly double the number of any other country. We're testing more people per capita than South Korea, the United Kingdom, France, Japan, Sweden, Finland, and many other countries, and in some cases combined.
What's your insight on it? Love to have people join in here on the show and basically give me your insight on it. Like I said, today's going to be a special show. Normally normally do audio podcasts, but decided to do the video podcast here for the page. But what is your views on it? Like literally, it's getting ridiculous. It really is. While the nation's leading health experts say the coronavirus fight is far from over, President Trump has more optimistic assessment. So this is just more far left crazy media yonder. It really is. It's getting a little old, to be honest with you. Some people even want to call it hype, but I'm not going to be those crazy people out there that are going to say, don't wear a mask, don't wear rubber gloves, don't do this, don't do that. Yes, protect yourself, but use common sense. Use common sense. I think that was all taught to us at a young age, in life. If you don't practice common sense, then common sense is going to fail, right? I mean, there's no instruction manual for it. That's just what we have to do. Is this the new norm? No, it's not the new norm. I think the new norm is just try not to go outside, right? I mean, they're saying don't go outside, don't get in your car and everything else like that. But you know what? We can't live like hermits either. You can't live like a hermit, and you can't stay inside. We weren't designed to be hermits. We weren't designed to be isolated inside of a home or an apartment or a townhome, wherever you live. Some people live in RVs. We weren't designed to live this way, and certainly I don't live this way. Do I stay isolated every single day? No, I don't stay isolated. I go outside. I jog in my spare time. I'm still working. Set aside from doing the podcast here, I'm still working. Which I'm grateful for. Am I tired? Yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, there's a lot of hours that I'm doing right now. Sometimes working 65, 70 hours in a week. A lot of people don't realize that. With us essential workers, there's nurses, there's doctors, there's people that are working around the clock right now, literally. For us, other people to make sure, whether it's that nurse to make sure you're healthy, whether it's that warehouse worker or that truck driver, making sure that freight is delivered to the store, making sure the food is put on the table. I think today's times is going to teach us one thing, and teach us one thing only, not only about common sense, but to, use that noodle of yours, that noggin, old early 90s and 80s terminology, right? As we rise through technology and modern technology, so to speak, as more as we evolve as humans and everything, I think we're not using this upstairs. We're not understanding. We're relying more on other people, so to speak, to run our lives. I think we're losing mentality as human beings. I really do. I think it's time just to wake up. Understand who we are as people. Because you can either do one or two things. Like I said, you can take this thing seriously, which you should. Okay. Should you live in fear? No, you shouldn't live in fear. Just because this is a brand new virus, just because it's a brand new disease or whatever you want to call it, you shouldn't let it take over your life, so to speak. Live your life as if you lived it before. Because let me explain one thing to you about this new society we live in, right? A mask, rubber gloves, face shield, whatever you decide to use to protect yourself should not change your aspect of life. It shouldn't. It shouldn't change anything. Because just 2-3 months ago, were you wearing a mask? Were you wearing rubber gloves? Were you wearing a face shield? Were you wearing any of those protective personal equipment, which is also known as PPE, for those who don't know the abbreviations, personal protective equipment? Were you wearing any of those to help you? No, you weren't. So also take this into consideration too, that the human being can also be easily manipulated in a lot of different ways. I feel, and this is my own personal opinion, I feel that this is also very, very overhyped through the mainstream media and also through certain parts of the federal government. I feel that it's being overhyped, it's being overlooked. Okay? This thing is actually controlling everyone's lives. Okay? It is. Because everywhere you go, there's signs now: practice social distance, stay 6 feet away, wear gloves, wear masks, wear face shields, wear, all that. Everything is being affected by it. Restaurants are closing down. Bars are closing down. Only certain stores are staying open, right? Which are called essential stores. So, are we facing a new America? Yes, we are. Sadly, we are. This thing is what's now being called the invisible enemy, so to speak. So, I think that we just have to practice common sense, and we do. Practicing common sense will cure anything. I don't mean to laugh about it, but like I said, common sense is the cure for everything in life today. You can make so much easier and positive decisions for your life by just practicing common sense. So in all reality, when they say practice social distance, what they ought to say, and what the true aspect of all this is. Now, this is just my personal opinion. I'm not right, I'm not wrong. But this will make sense to a lot of different people. Practice common sense. Because common sense will cure anything. It's for everything in life. You would have never gotten into that car accident, right, if you just used common sense. Maybe drove a little slower. Maybe braked a little easier. Maybe looked actually for a change instead of, texting on the cell phone. Maybe you wouldn't have gotten fired from that job if you just used common sense. Instead of using an attitude, be reasonable with your boss or supervisor. Common sense, right? Common sense is the cure for everything, folks. It really is. It really is. And the more and more we don't use it, the more and more we lack things in life. And I can go on and on and on about this. I really can. I feel that the world is not learning anything from it. Guys, I got a lot more to say here on the show. I want to get into more topics here. That's just buzzing the headlines that I want to get out. But with that, I want to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, if you're out there trying to look for a new product, a natural product, you want to get off the strong medications, the strong everything in this crazy world today we live in. Look no further than HempWorks. HempWorks, what is it? Guys, it's a natural supplement. It's healthy for your body. It's through the natural blend of marijuana, but basically, it's crazy to say that, but HempWorks is actually legal, folks. You can buy it in stores, online stores, everywhere. Basically, what it is an oil type of formula that you can basically spread all over your body. I'm telling you what, folks, this stuff works like wonders. It really does. It's a tremendous product. And I'm telling you what, I use it myself for things that, sometimes I go through, like headaches and just everyday stress levels, you know. You apply it on your forehead, boom. God, it's like a miracle. I call it the miracle pill, so to speak, but it's oil-based. And I tell you what, guys, that headache goes away within minutes. Try HempWorks. Just log on to HempWorks.com. You can Google it, HempWorks, HEMPWORX. Make sure you put the X at the end. So it's HempWorks. Google that right now, guys. I'm telling you what, there's, so many different products on their page that you can, you can scroll through, look at it, see if it's the right product for you first. And I'm telling you what, guys, this product, you're going to love it. They stand by their money, too. So, Google HempWorks today, guys. You'll love it. All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Just going to take a quick little break back here. I tell you, you rant. Sometimes you need a break, right? But we're back to the show. I got myself a little Arizona tea. Got to replenish, right? But with that being said, we're talking more about the coronavirus and how it's just being overhyped by media. It really is. I'm telling you, it really is. It's just, it's nonsense. It's just, it's serious and everything else, but, some things just need to be, to be left alone. Yes, it's a serious thing and everything else, but I mean, the media today, man, they're having such a riot with this thing. It's not going anywhere. It really is. It's just, oh boy, it's I tell you today, it's, well, what can you do? What can you do, right? So, but other than that, what's more to talk about here? It's more to talk about, right? What's not to talk about? God, if it's not coronavirus, what else is it? It's now Shifty Shift. Oh boy, Shifty Shift. He's buzzing headlines today. Shift, he doesn't know when to stop with his crazy analysis and this and that. And, Shifty Shift, they call him, right? Shift. If it's not that, then it's the it's just other things. It's just, oh boy, what can we talk about? Here's one thing here I want to talk about, how Trump shifts tone on virus. We'll get more onto that. Trump shifts blame to states under a new virus plan. Oh boy, what's that, right? Oh boy, I tell you. Under President Trump's new plan to reopen the economy in phases, governors are calling the shots, but will also have the power to do it whether they want or not, but under the president's discretion. I want to play a clip here of basically just different plans here at the president. I'm going to play one clip here for you guys, and then I'll play another clip of what the president now wants to do. So here's the one phase here as basically what is being said here by the president. So, like I said, they're going to go in different phases here. What we're going to see, I have no idea. It's up to the president what he wants to do, what he doesn't want to do, right? So here we go.
We have states with a lot of talent are in a very good position, and they're getting ready to open. And over the next very short period of time, it's going to be up to the governors. We're going to work with them. We're going to help them.
And what he's trying to do here in part is show that if things don't improve, that he did his part, and it's the governors that you should be turning to and be angry with.
The governors.
Is there any funding?
Oh, here's Crazy Como. Oh boy, you got to hear him.
To do? No, there's an argument going on. President Trump believes that we've reached a peak nationally in the number of public health experts believe that might be true nationally, but that's not necessarily playing out in some areas. As Americans, we move around a lot, and as a result, the disease moves around a lot, and so no one is really safe. Without robust testing, how do you go about knowing that I don't have it and I'm okay to walk into the grocery store or to shake hands or to sit next to you at a ball game? Much like the ventilator situation, governors are saying they are having to compete with other states and with the federal government to get these testing. And they just don't have the supply chains to do it. And that the federal government has to be a part of it. Even if you're reopening the economy now in some of these areas that seem less affected, the impact is still there, and it's going to wend its way through our system.
It's terrible.
Months and months.
All right, turn this off. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it anymore. I really don't. Robust testing. This is the hype. I'm talking about. This is the hype. Yes, it's a serious thing, but it's the hype. This is the hype I'm talking about. You can talk about robust testing, right? Robust testing. All right. Here's my question for everybody. Okay. Everybody's so concerned about this virus, right? Here's my question for it. Why isn't everybody also not concerned about normal things that's been going on in this country for so many years? And still some of the stuff we don't have vaccines for. We don't have adequate testing for. We don't have that. We don't have this. I mean, when somebody contracts cancer, sadly, right? I hate to say it, but it's true. When somebody contracts cancer, okay, do we have an adequate cure for cancer to this day? After, God, we're in 2020, right? After hundreds of years that this disease has been around us, that we've known about, to this day, do we still have an adequate cure for it or control for it? Sure, you can go into a tube which is called radiation, or what most people come to call chemotherapy, right? But does the chemo actually work? Does it actually kill the cancer? No, it makes it sometimes worse, right? Creates hair loss and, lose weight from it. So we don't have adequate testing for that. Folks, we're in 2020 right now. 2020, okay? Which is also 21st century. By now, with so much modern technology that we have, not only as a country but as a world, we still do not have adequate testing or a vaccine or the miracle pill for cancer. Every other disease or virus, we don't have adequate testing for it. It's funny. It's funny. It came to a virus such as the COVID-19 for people to actually wake up and understand how serious diseases can be. It's funny how we came to this. It's not funny, but it's you know what I mean. It's really sad. Maybe that's the correct word for it. It's really sad that we come as a country to a disease such as COVID-19 for us to finally understand that we have to be more mindful of our surroundings. We have to be more mindful of what we put in our bodies, such as food and certain medications. Before that, was just putting everything in our bodies, right? Drinking sugarish drinks, drinking over drinking and alcoholic beverages, and smoking cigarettes, and some people doing recreational drugs. Then it was okay. No one really, I don't want to say no one really cared, but no one really took it serious. And I feel that, it comes to this disease that, the world is really finally waking up, so to speak. They're understanding fundamentals of life. It's sad. It really is. It's sad that we come to a country that just straight out, you know, that understands everything. It's remarkable how one pandemic can change the entire world, and the entire landscape of how everything just basically emerges. Because I tell you what, I'm still young enough to understand this. I'm still young enough to basically go on the record here and give you my analysis of how I see the world. I look at it as one thing and one thing only. And I'll basically tell you what I think needs to be changed and what doesn't need to be changed. What needs to be changed is we need to be more mindful. I use that word common sense all the time. Matter of fact, I think I use it more than I should. Common sense, folks, again, will cure anything. It really will. Everybody wants to use excuses. Excuses that, it's the alcohol. I can't stop drinking. I can't stop drinking. Listen, let me give you a little lesson here. Anybody can stop drinking if they want to. The reason people drink is sometimes they blame it on relationship issues, stress, overwork, themselves at work. But the main focus on why people drink is because they're bored with their life and they don't know what they're doing or what they want to do. Anybody can stop drinking. It's all up in here. Because the more you listen to negative people, or what I come to call it on other episodes that I had on my podcast, negative vibers, or negative Nancy's, right, so to speak. The more you listen to people, the more you're going to become that person. You can only change yourself for the better good. You can only change yourself for a better future. Anybody can be anybody in this world, unless you put your mind to it, your heart to it. Let's just say I know some people that went from having zero to having a full of everything. And that's the truth. That's the truth, guys. The truth. It all depends on what you want to do with your life. Now we can sit here and we can talk all about that, and we can talk about just so much different things. But half the time, do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear about the constant saga? Do you want to hear about this? And do you want to hear about that? Do you want to hear that, President Trump is a bigot and a racist and blah, 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 blah. Oh, boy, I'm 50 years old, but I carry on and cry like a 2-year-old. I mean, seriously. I mean, there's folks out there that are 50, 60, 70-something years old. The way you see them carry on today about these politics and stuff and about everything, it's really sad. It's really, really sad. It's downright, I don't know. Everybody talking about how coronavirus is the new norm, but what becomes the new norm in this country, seriously, and what's sad about it is that you have people in the streets today that carry on and bicker like a bunch of 2-year-olds. Seriously, it's like the adults, or what I call adults, are usually over the age of mindful adults are over usually the age of 30, because anybody under 30, they're still acting like a kid. They are. Seriously. Anyone that's over 30 is usually, hopefully mindful at their age, right? But then you have just as worse. I can tell you. I mean, I was out and about today, and where was I? I was at Walmart, right? I was getting some things done. I was, getting some food and getting this and getting that, and oh boy, I think this woman had to be probably no older than maybe 40, 41, right? And the thing she carried on about, I mean, seriously, she carried on about so much crap, so much bull crap. It was just unreal. It really was. It was unreal. The way she was carrying on about herself and this and that. I mean, seriously, I felt like, saying something. But, me, I'm, mind my own business, which I always do. And she's just carrying on. And it's sad today because we come as a country today. It's just like, geez, the adults are going backwards and the kids are going forward. The new generation of kids. I mean, I got a 13-year-old daughter. I think she's more mature than grown women and men today. Seriously. There's other kids, friends of mine that have kids that are about that same age, 13, 14, 15 years old, that act more mature today than adults. And it's sad today because, it's sad for one that they go on and on and on and on about this stuff. Seriously. I mean, when's it going to be like, just shut up. No one wants to hear that crap. No one wants to hear that, I'm not going to talk to you because you voted for Trump. And, he's a racist and he's a bigot. Oh, he doesn't like black people. I mean, come on, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Seriously, I don't want to hear that crap. Go on the other direction. I don't want to hear that crap. Seriously, I don't. But, I mean, what is... Boy, oh boy. But other than that, I'm going to take another break here, and we'll be right back after these words. Not much to talk about today, it's just the same stuff. More criticism from the president. More criticism to the president from the far left, and just other things. But we'll be right back after these words, guys. We're going to take a little break.
The Kitchen Angle Show, an Anchor podcast, a show of meaning, determination, motivation, anything to get through your crazy day life.
All right, guys, back to the show. Oh boy, I'm telling you. So little by little, states are opening up. Little by little, states are going up. They're understanding that we need to open them up. Like I said, folks, we can't keep this this virus to control our whole lives. We can't. You can't have people like Ice Cream Pelosi and crazy Chuck Schumer and Biden and all the other people to tell you what you can and cannot do. I'll play one more sound clip here for you guys, and then we're gonna wrap it up because we're getting kind of close on time here, and which I want to thank Anchor for letting me plug in the Facebook video here to today's show. And like I said, after you hear the live version of this, guys, you're gonna hear it later on. It's gonna be posted, the audio version of this on the Anchor app. And then also Google Podcasts, Spotify, and also on Twitter, which is at @angle_show. And then you can also find me on Facebook, which is at The Kitchen Angle. So I'm just about all over the place, guys. So you got to listen to me. I got other podcasts on there, other episodes. We have fun with this podcast, believe it or not. Sometimes I have some interesting guys and some guests and everything else that joins the show here. But with that being said, we're going to play this one little sound bite here. And then that's basically, we're going to wrap it up here, guys, soon.
Our coronavirus testing capabilities. In the span of just a few short months, we've developed a testing capacity unmatched and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. This is a core element of our plan to safely and gradually reopen America, and we're opening and we're starting, and there's enthusiasm like I haven't seen in a long time. Every American should be proud of the amazing array of talent, skill, and enterprise our nation has brought to this challenge. In 3 months, the FDA has authorized more than 92 different tests, and over 9 million have been performed here in the United States. 3 weeks ago, we were conducting roughly 150,000 tests per day. Now we're doing approximately 300,000 tests per day, a 100% increase, and it will go up substantially from that number. This week, the United States will pass 10 million tests conducted, nearly double the number of any other country. We're testing more people per capita than South Korea, the United Kingdom, France, Japan, Sweden, Finland, and many other countries, and in some cases combined. On Friday, the FDA authorized coronavirus antigen test, an alternative testing technology that can be much more readily manufactured. Quidel Corporation, which makes this newly authorized point-of-care test, estimates that it will be able to manufacture 150,000 tests per day, immediately increasing to 300,000 tests per day within just a few weeks.
So that's good news. That's
Azar for providing his leadership at HHS and allowing both Grant and I the opportunity.
So that's real good news. I tell you, not only is the president basically going to reopen the country slowly by slowly, which is a good thing. So listen to more about this, what they say.
World in testing. I'll go through some of the charts that show that we lead quantitatively. I will also suggest that we lead in the diversity of tests, which are very important to establish the testing ecosystem to keep America safe. And clearly, as we've said multiple times, no one beats America when it comes to quality. So let's start potentially with the next slide.
So that was just the admiral of the medical department there speaking on behalf of Trump after you had heard Trump. So basically what's going on, folks, is this country here is becoming more OCD, so to speak. Which it should be. It should be. I mean, you live in the greatest country in the world, folks. You do. And if you don't think this country's great, then, there's the door, so to speak. Get the hell out. But it's the greatest country in the world. It really is. The greatest country in the world. It's just, we got so much greatness in this country. We got so much wealth in this country, so much beauty, I think for the longest time, God, I love this stuff. Everybody is green tea and a little ginseng. Oh, it's delicious. No, really. I mean, it's got a little sugar in it, right? But it's good for you. Green tea is good for you. Really good stuff. Can't get enough of it, right? But other than that, what was I saying? God, sometimes I talk and talk. I forgot what I was saying. But we got the greatest economy in the world. Well, we did, right? We had the greatest economy in the world, 2-3 months ago. What happened? We got nailed with this thing, right? But what was I saying? Greatest country in the world, beautiful scenery, the most beautiful cities anywhere. I mean, seriously. And I think we've really been taking this country, not only this world, for granted for so long. And I think this pandemic, this virus, is really teaching us something. One, it's making us become more united as people. Since this happened, I think this thing has been, made us more united than ever. The president just mentioned about a week ago, this is actually by far the worst in 9/11, this pandemic, because it's not only has it killed thousands upon thousands of people in this country already since this happened, but which is unfortunate. My sympathies and my heart go out to all those people that have lost their lives from this thing. But with that being said, we also have to learn a lot from this. We have to learn to be more sympathetic, more understanding, and like I said, always use common sense. Okay, because whether you believe in God or you're spiritual or whatever, that's your own faith. Which is another great thing about living in this country. We're allowed to express our own personal religion. Religion has freedom. We have religious freedom in this country. We also have freedom of speech in this country, which you're allowed to say anything you pretty much desire to say. Sometimes I wouldn't recommend saying it because you might get a pop in the head or something if you're in the wrong area. But, what's so great about this country is you got all those freedoms, all those beliefs, everything you want to do. Just be grateful that you live in a country such as the United States where you can go wherever you please, wherever you desire. There's places in the world that you wish they had our freedoms. And I think we've been taking our freedoms for granted for so long. And this thing has really has changed our mindsets. Be more mindful to your neighbors. Be more mindful to your surroundings, your well-being as well too. Because sometimes people aren't as lucky or as blessed as you are, so to speak. Sometimes people don't have the same immune system as you. Some people aren't as, like I said, as healthy as you. Some people might have their finances a little backwards or something, or maybe your finances are a little bit better than theirs. Don't always be that cocky person, because you never know when you'll be in their footsteps. What I'm trying to say, folks, is always be mindful to your neighbors. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for coming into today's special video podcast. For those who joined in, I think I seen a couple that popped up. I want to thank you anyway. That came in because, like I said, this show sometimes, guys, is very raw. It's very unscripted. I'm probably one of the most unscripted podcast hosts you'll probably ever hear. There's a lot of people that read off of a teleprompter right next to them, or they have a script that was prepared for them hours upon hours, or sometimes days and days ago, But I don't do that. I say what's on my mind, and sound effects on the show, right? But I say what's on my mind, and it's my sound effects. That's my sound effects guy that's working on the other end. He gives me my sound effects that come in the show here. So, all right, man, enough of that. Jeez. But with that being said, I want to thank you for joining in. Like I said, it's a very unscripted show, and you can always hear me anywhere you hear podcasts. I'm on a Facebook at The Kitchen Angle. My Twitter is at Kitchen_show. And follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, and always listen to me anywhere you find a podcast. With that being said, folks, thank you very much. All right, stop with the damn sound effects. We're done with the sound effects. Oh, boy. With that being said, folks, thank you very much for joining in.
You just heard an episode of The Kitchen Angle Show, an Anchor podcast.